The envelope is certified and heavy. Final notice of intent to levy. Balance $50,000 to the IRS. On my fridge, Tess's spreadsheet tracks $100,000 in divorce arrears like a polite executioner waiting to strike. I tell a post-it note, "Be useful," and it falls off the fridge. Same. A friend DMs a name. Mr. Aazil, saved my ass. Bring honesty. Aazil Financial sits over a dry cleaner. The office is quiet, tea at room temperature, and a man in a dark suit who looks like a closing argument. He shakes my hand.
Jake, Mr. Aazil, sit.
I owe the IRS 50 grand and my ex 100. I'm not a criminal, I'm just...
Behind. We specialize in behind.
He slides a pen across.
Blue ink is truth. Black ink is drama. Today, blue.
A leather ledger opens to blank lines.
State your balances aloud.
IRS 50,316. The number sharpens on the page as if printed. Divorce arrears $100,900. Sharp again.
Your problem isn't math. It's sequence. You promise future you will be richer without changing the calendar that produces your money.
He lays out 3 buckets. IRS, abatement, installments, compromise, domestic, modification, structured arrears, business, cash flow triage.
We can stay respectable, or we can choose aggressive options. Legal, arguable, ethically thin. We will not cross into fraud.
I prefer not to go to jail.
So do I.
He produces an 8-page engagement agreement, retainer, confidentiality, consent for each move, arbitration venue neutral, 1-year term, a forest of subclauses.
Read all of it. 8 pages is merciful.
I read what panic will hold. No souls, no blood. So I sign the big lines, initial the small. My eye skates past Addendum 9B, success thresholds, because my phone buzzes, and I'm an idiot.
Stabilize first,
Aazil says, dialing.
Agent Morales, Mr. Aazil with a new client. He seeks a predictable installment plan and penalty abatement for industry volatility and compliance in progress.
Morales sounds tired. Submit 9465 and your statement. Don't tell me your life story.
You'll have both today, Aazil says, muting.
He dictates a hardship letter.
Promise systems, not windfalls.
We pivot to domestic. Aazil opens petition to modify.
You'll meet Tess in public with an automatic payment plan. 1 apology, specific and short. No relitigating your marriage.
She'll think it's manipulation.
Then do not manipulate. Ask for a temporary reduction with a catch-up schedule. Automate so your better angels can sleep.
Business. He prints my client list. Color codes with a highlighter that seems to glow.
Green, pay on time. Yellow, late. Red, extractive.
He boxes 2 names.
Send firm demand letters today. Raise your deposit to 50%.
I'll lose work.
You'll lose bad work.
He taps insurance and protections.
Do any cards include purchase protection?
Yeah.
If a camera were damaged in transit, a claim might fund a lump sum to the IRS.
I dropped it.
Were you moving from table to case? Motion is transit. If you can't say it without sweating, don't say it.
I write no sweating in my notebook. Totals render in the ledger: 150,000 owed, 0 reduced. Aazil caps his pen.
We'll shave penalties, modify domestic, call bad clients and sell assets. No miracles. You will hate some parts, but they will work.
I already hate parts.
Good. That means we're where the problem lives.
He hands me 3 one-page scripts: IRS, tests, red clients, each 5 sentences, checkbox at the bottom. I said it exactly once.
Read the whole thing tonight, especially the addenda. Sleep is a poor lawyer.
I will, I say. The pen in my pocket warms like it knows better. At home, I set automatic payments to Tess, draft the abatement letter, and schedule Morales' forms. I text Tess. Coffee tomorrow? I have a plan and an apology. She replies, a public place at 11. I open the contract. The small print swims. I tell myself I'll reread it in the morning. But of course I don't. By morning, I have forms, scripts, and a text from my accountant. We meet at his office. Same quiet, same tea.
Today we cut the balance, Aazil says. Small moves fast.
1. IRS, penalties first. He edits my hardship statement until it reads like a memo. We submit 9465 installment and penalty abatement. On speaker, Agent Morales asks, "What can you actually pay?" I give the real number. Aazil emails bank statements. Morales puts me on a review track that isn't hostile. Off the call, Aazil opens the ledger. The penalty line fades a notch.
Good. Next.
Number 2. Books. We rebuilt my last 2 years. Mileage, home office, software gear. I have receipts, I just never logged them. He has me fill a clean log to match reality. I try to pad a number and the ledger blurs. He waits. I correct it. The ink locks in. He files an amended return. The IRS balance ticks down. I feel both relief and shame. 3. Tess. We meet at a cafe. I bring an automated payment plan and an apology that fits in one breath. I disappeared when I was overwhelmed. I won't do that again. I'm asking for a temporary reduction with a catch-up schedule. She reads the plan. If it's automated, yes. Miss one and it snaps back. Agreed. When I text Aazil, the ledger shows a new row. Domestic, reduced, conditional. He replies,
Good. Tell counsel to file the stipulation.
5. Insurance. I have purchased protection on a card. The camera I dropped still doesn't work. Aazil's line is simple. Damaged during transfer. Not a story, just a line. I file the claim without extra words. It pays. He wires the funds to the IRS lump sum the next day. The notice balance drops again. It was an expensive-ass camera. My stomach does a slow flip. Number 6. Sell what hurts. Drone, vintage lens, motorcycle. Listings go up. A buyer arrives with cash. I take photos, log serials, and send half to Tess and half to the IRS. The ledger updates.
Still short. 2 more moves.
He proposes statement day optics, moving money into an account that does not show on a specific date. Legal, yeah, but it smells a little fishy. No, I say. He nods once. Declined. Respect noted. Number 8. Organize what I keep. We set templates, estimate, scope, invoice, late fee policy. I practice saying my rate out loud until it stops sounding fake. He makes me send a clean estimate to a yellow client. They accept without haggling. I send a larger deposit invoice. It clears. By Friday, the whiteboard says, start $150,000. After abatement review, modified domestic, collections, sales, claim, $40,000 to $45,000 remaining. Hey, not bad. One more lever. Offer and compromise. If accepted, you clear IRS for pennies on the dollar. What's the catch? Stay clean for 24 months. No new debt on-time payments. We file accurate statements. You don't freelance your ethics. He slides a thin packet. Form 656. Offer and compromise. The instructions are plain. The numbers are plain. I sign where he marks. He packages bank records and a budget that doesn't lie in proof of 3 on-time payments to Tess. He adds a cover letter that's all nouns and verbs. He sends it certified. Now we wait. We keep paying on the plan. We keep paying Tess. Don't celebrate early. Do I tell anyone? You tell your friend Tasha you're learning to read contracts and you tell no one else. Not until it's signed by the government and reality. On the way out I ask, what's your last name anyway, Aazil? Aazil is sufficient. Trust me, you wouldn't want to know my true name. I go home to a smaller number, an automated calendar, and a quiet phone. I don't feel heroic. I feel like someone who finally put the trash on the curb on the right day. The things I sold to drive down the debt were a little questionable. I know those cars had some problems and a couple of my laptops weren't quite up to snuff. But I did what I had to do. Before bed, I take the contract from the folder and place it on the nightstand. I mean to read every line, and instead I sleep again. The IRS schedules our off review for a Tuesday afternoon. Aazil says, arrive early. Bring only what they ask for and exactly what proves it. I bring bank statements, a simple budget, the last 3 automatic payments to Tess, and a list of tools I sold. We sit in a carpeted room with a clock that favors the government. Agent Morales looks the same as he sounded. Tired, fair, and interested in facts. Mr. Jacob Harris, Mr. Aazil, you're proposing an offer and compromise based on doubt as to collectability. Monthly disposable income, $285. No equity to liquidate. You've been making payments, I see. Yes, and on time. Let's verify. He asks for documents in a tight order. Aazil slides each item forward before he can even finish the request. He's not showing off, he's just avoiding friction. When Morales asks about a 1099 I forgot, Aazil produces it from our file like he knew I'd buried it. We don't fill the silence with stories, we only answer what Morales asked. He totals numbers with a calculator that clicks like a metronome. Your offer amount is low. Not insulting, but low. It's the amount he can pay and not default, Aazil says. Morales nods. He prints a form from a small machine on the shelf. The paper curls and smokes a little from the heat. He signs. Conditional acceptance. He slides it over. 24 months of on-time installments. No new debt. If he misses, this goes away and we pretend we never met and you owe the amount in full. I sign. My hand shakes a little. Aazil signs as authorized representative, tidy and unreadable. Morales stands. Congratulations. Keep your head down, and please don't make me see you again. We step out into an ordinary hallway. Aazil does not high-five. Next, confirm the domestic side. Tess meets me at the same cafe as before. We sit at a table. I hand her the IRS letter. She reads it twice, lips pressed the way you press a seal. Okay. If you make 12 automatic payments in a row at this level, I'll sign the modification and forgive the penalty interest on the arrears. If you miss one, we revert and add a fee. That's fair. I know. She slides a lawyer's draft across. Read it. I do, not skimming. I sign and we both keep a copy. Outside, I text Aazil. Domestic signed contingent. The letter in my head flips a page. If the IRS deal plus Tessa's restructure both hold, the reduction is past 80%. I'm too tired to celebrate. Back at Aazil's office, he pours room temperature tea and sets the ledger on the table. A different folder opens on its own. Service Agreement Annex B. Before we adjourn, we should document the final term. What final term? He turns my signed contract to the light and runs a finger along the bottom margin of page 7. The tiny print I didn't read stands up like raised ink. Addendum 9B. Upon reduction of the client's total legal obligations by 80% or more, client agrees to provide professional services at the firm's direction for a period of 10 years, non-exclusive, non-violent, fair market compensation in room temperature tea and medical grade pens, includes audit shielding, contract review, and solvency maintenance. My throat tightens. I didn't agree to that. You initialed here, he says, tapping a faint pair of letters that are undeniably mine. You were watching the totals, not the terms. I recommend reading all 8 pages. It's servitude. It's a retainer. Words matter. You keep your life, you even get to keep your soul. I give your help for 10 years. In return, you remain solvent and untangled. I will audit any contract you sign and void 1 clause per year on your behalf. No blood, no threats, paperwork only. I push back from the table and stand because sitting down feels wrong. You tricked me. I didn't. I told you the truth. Read the contract. I crossed out 3 unfavorable clauses you didn't notice in your own favor. I did not push any action you refused. I even told you to read the addendum. This is the fee you pay instead of interest to banks, chaos to bad clients, and years in prison. What would I even be doing here? Contract audits for people like you. Lease reviews, predatory clause removal, paper trails for the defenseless. Occasionally, retrieval of a document from a place that does not like being visited. No weapons, no harm. You can refuse 2 tasks per year for any reason. He takes a pen and amends the addendum while I watch. The ink glows faintly, then dries. He slides it to me. If you agree, sign again, this time with attention. Otherwise, your debts will become anew, and Uncle Sam will be giving you a call and a visit soon. I sit. I read every line once, then twice. The term is ugly because it's long, but it's also clear. 10 years will pass either way. This way, I don't slide back into the hole that I just crawled out of. I add a clause of my own. No assignments may affect Tess or my actual clients. Aazil nods and writes it without argument. Compensation includes pens? I say, because something small has to break the attention.
Very good, Pens. And a guarantee that if the agency machine wakes up hungry again, they'll find me in front of you.
I sign. My name looks steadier than I feel. Aazil closes the folder and locks it with a thin strap.
Welcome to solvency. And to the work.
We don't shake hands. He sets a neat stack of files between us. The top one is a bakery lease with a clause that charges triple rent if the tenant sells coffee. The second is a rideshare driver's car note with a balloon payment that arrives like a trap. The third is a non-disclosure that silences a woman who wants to report a safety issue. You expect me to fix all this?
I expect you to read. Circle the poison. Suggest a line that a human can live with. We'll handle the rest.
I flip the bakery lease. The clause hides in plain sight. I circle it. I write, cap increase to CPI plus 2%. Allow coffee. Aazil pours more tea.
You see? Not hell. Work.
It's nearly dark when I leave. I text Tess a photo of the first scheduled payment. She thumbs up reacts. I set calendar blocks for the installments and for a weekly hour labeled Future Jake Payroll. I hope Aazil doesn't notice. I mean, he makes plenty of money here as it is. I put the contract in a drawer and don't pretend I'll forget it. Back in my place, I take some of the cameras I didn't sell and put them back in their case one at a time. I breathe. The ledger in my head is quieter. The numbers still exist. They just aren't in charge. My phone rings from Aazil.
Welcome aboard. Tomorrow, a predatory gym contract. They love small print. Bring a red pen.